I'm in Melbourne for the weekend for the opening of the new Mecca Bourke St flagship store. Wow, it was amazing. The store is gorgeous. The space is beautiful. The team were all fantastic. I had to go a couple of times, of course, to soak it all up and experience as much as I can. So I thought I'd just jump on and show you a few of the things I picked up and talk about the services that I had. So this is their second flagship store. The first one is in Sydney. The Melbourne one is huge though. I think it's probably about twice the size, maybe even more than the Sydney one. The space feels really nice. There's lots of space, even though there's a lot of people there. It still felt pretty good. You could move around reasonably freely. All of the teams, all of the people, the staff there were fantastic, so friendly. I think by the time I got there, it was pretty late on Friday afternoon. They must have been exhausted, right? It's been a huge day for them, but they were all so friendly and happy to help and yeah, just always smiling and excited, which added to the great energy. So I had to pick up a few things. Of course, I couldn't come down for a shopping event and not shop. So a few things that I picked up. I've been on the lookout for a while for a sort of neutrally beigey rosy blush to replace my old MAC Warm Soul. They've still got Warm Soul now, but the colour's different and it's not what I want it to be. So a couple of suggestions from a couple of the team there to test out. So I got one of the MAC Glow Play, which I really like the formula. I've had a couple of these before and I really like the formula. It's kind of squishy, creamy, but sets to powder. So I'm going to give this a go. It's in the shade Blush Please, which looked sort of like what I'm looking for. Of course, I've had my eye on this for a really long time, but I've never tried any of their products, so I wanted to give it a go. The Westman Atelier Baby Cheeks Blush Stick in the shade Petal, of course. And the Westman Atelier brushes caught my eye while I was there, so I picked up one of those as well, the powder brush, which looks like it's going to be nice for those cream products as well, even though it's a powder blush. So most of the purchases that I made over the time that I was there this weekend came with lots of gifts. They were giving away a lot of stuff. People who had been in the queue on the Friday morning for the opening got some really cool looking beauty lip boxes with lots of beautiful little samples of things in there. So I think I've done pretty good with the samples and the freebies. That very first purchase on the Friday, I was also given as a gift archive, hair primer. Don't know much about this. I'm pretty sure I've been given one of those in a beauty loop before and I think I gave it away. So I'll keep this one and I'll give it a go. It looks like some sort like a spray that you put in before you style your hair. So that was the Friday. That was really cool. It was only a quick visit, but we got to see most of it. Even though it's quite big, it's quite easy to move around. So could see all the things that we wanted to see pretty easily. We spent quite a bit of time up on the fragrance floor. They have got some amazing fragrance tech. I was impressed. It was a little bit tricky to use, and I think if there wasn't so many people there, I would have spent a lot more time playing with it. But they've got like these setups where there's a tablet where you can go through and it talks about the different fragrance families and you pick a few things that you like. And then there's this, it looks like a speaker. I've got some photos up on my previous post if you want to go and have a look at those, where whatever fragrances you've chosen then actually kind of waft out of this speaker looking thing. So you put your nose up and you can smell it. So you can actually sample all the different fragrances and compare. It was really amazing. I was surprised at how well the fragrance part of it worked. I think the app's a little bit clunky and needs a little bit of work to make it a little bit more user friendly, but working in tech, I think I'm pretty critical of that sort of stuff. So yeah, that was Friday. Then yesterday, Saturday, I had actually booked in for a few services. So when they first announced they were launching, I jumped on straight away when the invitation came through to say, we're launching, come on down. And I booked a couple of services. So the first thing that I booked was for a Biologique Recherche facial. I had used some of their products in the past, but I'd never had one of their services. So I was excited to do the fact that it was a Biologique Recherche facial, but also the fact that I was going to be in the new store. Their treatment rooms are beautiful. The space is beautiful. Even though the store was pumping busy, like it was packed on Saturday morning when I was there, you sort of step behind the doors of the treatment room and it's quiet and it's really nicely lit and there's beautiful artwork and the team are beautiful and friendly as you would expect them to be. But you go from this quite chaotic, overwhelming store of the floor where all of the makeup, what the products are, into this beautiful, quiet environment. And that was just, it was so nice. I got there a little bit early to have consultation, but just sitting in that space was relaxing in itself. Hadn't even had the facial yet, but I started to feel relaxed. The Biologique Recherche treatment was next level, as you would expect it to be. The person that did the facial for me was so knowledgeable. She was knowledgeable, informative, explained things really, really well. Spent quite a bit of time going through a skin consultation with me. That they've got some devices that they use to check different things like your moisture levels and your pigmentation levels and your sebum levels and that kind of thing. Did a full report with me and talked about targeting the treatments that we were going to do towards some of the concerns that I had. My skin is still breaking out, you can see, really badly. Hormonal breakouts are the worst. So we really focused in on that. Also talked a little bit about some product recommendations, but wasn't really pushy and heavy on the hard sell, which sometimes treatments with specific brands can be. But this was amazing. I would highly recommend going for one of the services. Even just to be in those treatment rooms was amazing. So I will definitely be coming back to the Melbourne treatments, coming back for some more treatments in Melbourne when I'm around, but it's kind of sort of kicked me into gear to think I need to book myself into regular facial treatments in the Sydney store as well. I've already booked in for my next Biologique Recherche facial for a little bit, for a few weeks' time to sort of maybe try and keep going with getting my skin under control. Even though there was no push, no hard sell for the products, I did buy a couple, of course. I've been wanting to test out the cream cleanser for a really long time. So I picked up one of those, and it's been a long, long time since I've used Lotion P50, but I felt like it's time to give it another go, see if that can help get my skin back in order. So they also had a thing, I can't think of the right word, a thing on, where any treatments that you booked in, you got kind of like a little lucky dip card for some potential prizes. So I got a couple. I think with the facial, I also then got a little Dyson hairstyling product as my lucky dip. It's all right. I've used this before. I quite like it, but happy with that. The other thing that I was most excited for over the whole weekend was that I had booked myself in for a new piercing with Tash. I have had my eye on their gorgeous earrings and piercings since they'd opened in Sydney, which was a couple of years ago now, I think. Their jewellery is beautiful. I have had piercings for a really, really long time, but one of the things I've often found, especially in the early days, is that a lot of it's quite kind of industrial and grungy, which I love, but I also want a bit of sparkle and glam with my piercings, and Tash is exactly that. Like, they've got some gorgeous piercings placements, but their jewellery is just stunning. Diamonds and white gold and yellow gold and some unique shapes and sizes. They also have some really unique piercing placements as well. So I had booked myself in for a consultation as well as a piercing. I had no idea what I wanted though, even though I've been looking for a really long time. There are so many options. I was in 500 minds about what I wanted. I spent quite a bit of time with the team there going through, and I have to tell you, they are amazing. So 2 people I need to shout out. Maria, who is actually normally from the Sydney store, which I'm really excited about because I'll get to go back and spend some more time with her when I go for my checkup. She spent so much time with me just going through options and showing me some designs and some placements, and talked about how to mix and match with the piercings I've already got and the jewellery that I've already got. And then the piercer who actually did my piercing was Maren. It's amazing. Like, just so informative. Spent the time to make sure I was comfortable with what we were doing, where we were placing it, how what my aftercare was going to look like, what to do if I had any concerns with anything. Talk through all of the aftercare products that they gave me. That just amazing. So Marin and Maria at Maria Tash, thank you. My experience was amazing. We talked a little bit. I talked a bit about with Marin about how the piercing industry has changed so much over the last sort of 5 or 10 years, and how we were both really happy about the direction it's going in because it was very much needed. So I don't know if you're going to be able to see, but I'll try and get in a bit closer. The piercing location that I did was here in my helix, and it's a tiny little diamond spiderweb burst, and it is stunning. And I've got plans for the next few things that I'm going to go back and get done, so you'll hear more about that. I also made a few more purchases yesterday, of course, because I had to. So I had been meaning to pick up one of the RMS blushes for a while, and for some reason on Friday I forgot. I was overwhelmed, so much stuff to look at. So I went back and picked up the RMS blush in the shade Kirail. Again, trying to stick with that kind of rosy but glowy but not too pinky kind of shade that I'm after at the moment. So hopefully that'll work out nice. They look beautiful. The shine looks beautiful on them. And picked up a couple of products for a friend. So Dr. Jart's Cicapair, the Intensive Soothing Repair Cream, and the Soothing Colour Corrector Cream, because she has a little bit of rosacea, so I'm hoping that will help colour correct a little bit during the day for her, but also help treat it a little bit. So when I made that purchase, I also got another gift as well, and this is quite an interesting one. The Drunk Elephant Deep Bronzy Sunshine Drops. I've had these before as well, and I've normally passed them on to friends, but given that they've come back around again, I might give them a go. So that's a lot, but I had an amazing weekend. Highly recommend popping in if you have time, and if you're in Melbourne. I will definitely be coming back again, and inspired to spend a little bit more time in the flagship store in Sydney as well now. So thanks, Mecca. Amazing weekend.